Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Computer Engineering Made Easy, and I am Anindita. In this tutorial, we will discuss how to reverse a single linked list. The process to reverse a single linked list is very simple. There are only two methods involved in it. First, we have to detach the first node of the existing linked list and then insert it at the beginning of the new list. We have to continue repeating these two procedures until and unless there are no nodes left in the linked list. The pseudocode for the same will be somewhat like this. Here we pass the head of the existing linked list as a parameter to the function reverse, and finally we return the new head of the reversed linked list back to the calling function. Inside the function reverse, we need two pointers, the temporary pointer temp and the new head pointer who will be pointing to the reverse linked list. Now, if the head that is passed as a parameter to this function is null, it indicates that the linked list does not exist. Hence, there is no question of reversal. So we simply display link does not exist and return null. On the other hand, if head is not null, then we iterate until head becomes null and we execute the statements temp equal to head equal to head next, temp next equals to head new, and head new equal to temp. These four statements are responsible for detaching the first node of the existing linked list and inserting it at the beginning of the new linked list. Now let us take an example and see how it works. Let us consider that we have a single linked list somewhat like this, whose base address is 300 and that is stored in the head pointer or the head variable located in the stack memory. Now since the linked list is not an empty list, we find that head is not equal to null. That means we go into the while loop and we start executing the first of the four statements. The first statement is temp is equals to head. That means we copy the address stored in the variable head into the variable temp. This indicates that temp also points to the first node of the linked list. After this, we execute the next statement, that is head is equal to head arrow next. This means that head will now shift from the first node to the second node. Thereby, the head will now hold the address 500, which is the address of the second node. This is also a part of the detachment of the first node. After this, we move on to the third statement, that is temp next is equals to head new. This means that whatever is there in head new will now get stored in temp next. This means that temp next now holds the value null. Therefore, as you can see that we have completely detached the first node from the linked list. Now we move on to the next step, that is inserting it as the first node of the new linked list. The new linked list will be pointed by the head new and currently it is holding null. So in order to make this detached node the first node of the new list, we have to store the address of this node into head new. Accordingly, we write or execute head new is equals to temp. On executing head new is equals to temp, now head new holds the address of the first node, which is 300, indicating that it is also pointing to the first node of the linked list. So therefore, after the end of first iteration, we find that the first node of the original linked list gets detached from the original linked list and is now present as the only node in the new linked list head new. Next, we move on to the next step where we again check and find head is not equal to null. This means we are iterating the loop for the second time. Head is not null because it is holding the address of the second node, which in this case is 500. So if head is not equal to null, we have to move on with the next step, that is temp equal to head. This means that temp will now point to the memory location 500, which was the second node of the original linked list. Once this gets executed, then we move on to the next step, that is head equal to head next. Head equal to head next gets executed. The address of the third node, that is 700, now gets stored in the variable head. And then when we execute temp next is equals to head new, this means that by temp next we mean the next part of the node at address 500, and that is going to hold the address that is stored in head new. Now head new currently holds the address 300, so this 300 gets stored in the temp next part of the linked list, indicating that the original second node now points to the original first node. So therefore, the reversing has already started, and the second node which was detached from the original list is now getting inserted before the node having value 10 in the new linked list. Next, we do head new is equals to temp, indicating that the node temp is now going to be the first node of the linked list. After this, again when we check what is the value of head, we find that head is not null. So that means the loop will iterate once again. So as the loop iterates once again, we set temp is equals to head, indicating that temp will now hold the address 700, indicating the third node of the original linked list. So next we set head is equals to head next. This means that head will now store the address 400, indicating that it is now going to point to the fourth node of the original linked list. After this, we execute temp next is equals to head new. Head new is currently holding the address of the original second node of the linked list, that is 500. And temp is currently pointing to the original third node of the linked list at the address 700. So when we execute temp next is equals to head new, the address 500 gets stored in the next part of the node pointed by temp, indicating that the original third node of the list will now point to the original second node of the linked list, thereby reversing it. Next, when we execute head new is equals to temp, head new now holds the address 700, indicating that it will now point to the original third node of the linked list. After this, we again check the value of head and we find that it is still not null. This means that we are going to iterate the loop for the fourth time. So when we execute the next statement, that is temp is equals to head, temp now also holds the address 400, indicating that it points to the fourth node of the original linked list. Next, when we execute head is equals to head next, this node at address 400 being the last node of the original linked list has null in its next part. So when we execute head equal to head next, head now becomes null. After this, we execute temp next is equals to head new. Head new is holding the address 700, which is the address of the original third node of the linked list. So this address 700 now gets stored in the temp next part, indicating that the original fourth node will now point to the original third node of the linked list. After this, we execute head new is equals to temp, indicating that head new will now hold the address of the original fourth node of the original linked list. Finally, we find that head has become equal to null, so we break out of the loop and we return the address of the head new. Now let us check whether the linked list has actually been reversed or not. For that, we will simply reorder the nodes, keeping the links unchanged. So we will start with the node head new. Head new is pointing to the node at address 400, so we just reorder that. Now the node at address 400 is pointing to the node at address 700. Accordingly, we can shift or reorder the node at address 700 and we can place it like this. Now the node at address 700 is pointing to the node at address 500. So therefore, we can reorder it and place it next to the node at address 700. And finally, the node at address 500 points to the node at address 300. So again, we can reorder it and we can place it like this. So thus, we can see that the entire linked list has got reversed and the address of the first node, that is 400, is now stored in head new, which is the new head of the reverse linked list. So when we return this address stored in head new back to the calling function and use it to display the entire list, we will get the reverse list of the original single linked list which was passed. Now let us take a look at the calling function. So here in the main function, we have first created the new linked list of size n, where n is provided as input from the user. After that, we display it and then we call the reverse function. So after we reverse it, we again display it. And when we do that, we get the output somewhat like this. When the user is asked to enter the number of nodes of the original single linked list, say the user enters 4. This means that a linked list of size 4 will be created. Accordingly, the user enters the value of each node of the linked list as 10, 20, 30 and 40 respectively. So before reversal of the entire linked list, the content of the list is 10, 20, 30 and 40, while after reversing, the content of the list becomes 40, 30, 20 and 10 respectively. This indicates that our reversal procedure is successful. With that, we come to the end of our today's tutorial. Hope you have gained some knowledge from it. Please make sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends if you find this tutorial helpful. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. See you in my next video. Till then, bye-bye.